There was an idea to bring the world's greatest minds together. Now we also use them to make memes. Here we go. So, it's January 1st, 1989, and Vincent Kraft and Robert Kahn came together to create ARPANET, which is widely known as the company that started it all. It also turns out that Nikola Tesla actually toyed with the idea, but since he did not have the materials to do so, the idea died. So stuff actually started to get somewhere in the 1960s when MIT's J.C.R. Lichtlander popularized the idea of an intergalactic network of computers. There was this guy called Al Gore. He was the vice president of the United States. He also happened to be the first politician to openly support the idea of the internet. He is infamous for saying that he created the internet. Okay, this is gonna be a mouthful. So, in 1968, engineers at ARPANET took 1,000 transmitters and put them into a RAM chip, making it 10 times the speed of the old core memory. It gave scientists access to unique capabilities such as faster speed and more memory that was built through a NASA contract. In 1969, Frank Hart, an American computer engineer, got a team together to upgrade the IMP, Interface Message Processor. The group contained Ben Barker, Bernie Kosel, Will Cawthor, Bob Kahn, Servo Ornstein, and Dave Walton. Also on October 29, 1969, the first login crash happened. So, it's 1972, and at BBN Technologies, Ray Tomlin writes a program that allows people to send electronic email through the system. And starting from 1972 to the 1980s, there was something known as the header war, when finally the @ symbol became the worldwide standard. Though it seemed many other companies use alphabetic, like numbers or letters, for the user blank host. The user would probably be like your username, like kingpizzalover@gmail.com. But since the @ symbol was replaced by like the T symbol or something, it just didn't make any sense, making the @ war. Okay, I know I keep on saying this, but this one's gonna be crazy, okay? So, in 1973, packet radio modeled after the Aloha experiment at the University of Hawaii, designed by Norman Abronen, a computer scientist and engineer, connected 7 different computers on 4 islands, and a satellite connection enabled all the locations to link with 2 other sites in Norway and the UK. Also that year, Larry Roberts enlisted the help of Vint Cerf, who was teaching at Stanford University, to help with the problem that ARPANET had. The problem was that the radio-based PRNet and SatNet all have different interfaces, packet sizes, labeling, conventions, and transmissions. Therefore, they couldn't connect to each other's servers. But in September 1973, the two gave their first paper on the new TCP at the NWIG meeting. The meeting was held at the University of Sussex, England. In 1974, ARPANET's daily traffic exceeded 3 million packets. Then, on 1976, Seymour Cray demonstrates the first vector processor supercomputer, the Cray 1. And you can't even fault the guy for putting his own name down. If you made the first something ever, like, come on, raise your hand if you wouldn't do that. And anyone who put their hand up, we all know you're telling a story, put your hand down. So on 1977, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs announced the Apple II computer. Also introduced are the Tandy TRS-80 and the Cosmodore PET. These 3 off-the-shelf machines created consumer and small business markets for computers. On 1981, at the beginning of the year, more than 200 computers and the dozens of intuitions have been connected to CSNet or BitNet, another startup network, which is based on protocols that include file transfer via email. This is cool. So on 1982, Drew Major and Kyle Powell wrote Snipes, an action game to be played on PCs over the network. They packaged the game as a demo for PC software product from Superset Software Incorporated. This is the beginning of Novel. 2 years later, in 1984, the new developed DNS is introduced across the internet with the now familiar domains of .gov, .mil, .edu, .org, .net, and .com. A domain called .int for international entities is not much used. Sadly, 4 years later, on 1990, ARPANET formally shuts down. In 20 years, the net has grown from 4 to over 300,000 hosts. Countries connecting in 1990 include Argentina, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Chile, Greece, India, Ireland, South Korea, Spain, and Switzerland. On 1993, CERN places its World Wide Web technology in the public domain, donating it to the world, causing the start of the internet becoming public. On the following year, 1994, for those who weren't keeping track, one of the first known web purchases take place: a pepperoni pizza with mushrooms and extra cheese from Pizza Hut. This is a beautiful moment in history. This same year, Yahoo officially goes live on March 22nd, created by Stanford University graduate students Jerry Yang and David Fillo. They originally named the site Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. On 1995, Amazon.com goes live on July 5th, calling itself Earth's biggest bookstore. Little did we know how big it would become. Later that year, Match.com, the first online dating site, launching. That same year, 1995, Hotmail launches as one of the world's first webmail services. Its name a reference to the HTML internet language used to build web pages. The same year, The Dancing Baby, a 3D animation, becomes one of the first viral videos. On April 14, 1997, Netflix launches as a company that sends DVDs to homes via mail. On that same year, Google.com registers as a domain. On January 15, 2001, Jimmy Wales launches Wikipedia. Users write over 20,000 Encyclopedia entries in the first year. On June 30th, 2003, Apple launches the iTunes Music Store with 200,000 songs at 99 cents each. The store sells 1 million songs in its first week. MySpace.com is founded and quickly adopted by musicians seeking to share their music and build their fan bases. It was released on August 1st, 2003. Also that year, President George W. Bush signed the Can-Spam Act into law, establishing the first national standards for sending of commercial email. On February 4th, 2004, Harvard student Big Boy Duck, Mark Zuckerberg, launches the Facebook.com. 1,200 Harvard students sign up within the first 24 hours. Facebook now goes on to be the world's biggest social networking site, with over 1 billion users worldwide. That same year, massively multiplayer online role-playing game World of Warcraft launches on November 23rd. On 2006, YouTube is founded on Valentine's Day. The first video, an explanation on what's cool about elephants, is uploaded by co-founder Jawed Karim. On April 23rd, Google acquires the company a year later for $1.65 billion. Twitter launches on March 21st on that same year. Founder Jack Dorsey says the first tweet stating, "Just setting up my Twitter." And again, also this year, Apple releases its first iPhone on June 29th, priced at $499 for 4 GB and $599 for 8 GB. On September 22nd, 2008, Google releases the Chrome web browser. And finally, on 2016, the Google Assistant chatbots officially greet the world. On 2018, net neutrality was abolished by the FCC. Net neutrality ensured that internet providers could not discriminate between lawful content by blocking content or applications. It is also ensured to providers couldn't slow lawful applications because of the nature. And the last one made sure that Companies couldn't have faster internet for people who paid premium and slower for other people. Yes, we made it. It's 2019. We have memes and stuff. YouTube is at its full power, and about 4.39 billion people are connected to the internet. In 2019, we are filled with Fortnite, YouTube, Instagram, and many other things. And we have 5G, which is the fastest internet speed ever. And thank you for watching. Bye.